Today I'm just making a quick video showing you how to replace the thermostat housing on a 2015 ML350 Mercedes. So first thing you want to do is remove this front of the engine cover here. There's little clips where it pops in through the back here, and there's two pins with little rubber grommets up front. You just pull it straight up kind of carefully, unclip it like this through the back, and then the back usually bites a lot harder than the front. That was already undone, but as you can see, now you want to take the belt off. I like to start with removing the dry belt because you're going to get a lot of coolant on it. Even if you drain the block, you're still going to get some drips on your dry belt, and then it's going to squeak and it's not good. So what I like to do is use a 17mm deep well socket with a breaker bar or a ratchet. And just put it down here on your tensioner, like right there, and then turn it counterclockwise to take the tension off the belt. So counterclockwise, and then you can, with two hands, you can slide it off the pulley like this. There you go. It didn't show that the best because I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand, but get that out of the way like that and pull it all the way off, or just make sure it's not anywhere where you're going to get coolant on it. So it comes off pretty easy on these. Move that up out of the way. Then with that out of the way, you can see the upper radiator hose here and the thermostat housing. The upper radiator hose goes right too, and the bolts that secure it are right here. It's a little T30 Torx. This one, you're going to want to pull this hard line off, another T30, and then there's another one kind of up higher. For reference, you can look at your new thermostat housing. That usually helps, but I'll show you exactly. So this one, and then this pipe. So first you want to pull this pipe off here. Put a bucket underneath it. Even if you drain it, you're still going to lose some coolant. So pull that off first, and then you can pull this metal pipe up out of the way. Take a little flat blade screwdriver and stick it right here to release your upper radiator hose. You kind of just pry that up until it falls into the indent. So, or you can just pull the clip off altogether, doesn't matter. That's up high enough where you can just kind of wiggle this and pull that right off. What I like to do is just, instead of disconnecting it at the radiator, just flip it out of the way, because the less things you touch, the better, as far as, unless you're going to replace the hose altogether. But you can just push that back into place, take that same screwdriver, get in here and release this little mapped thermostat connector. So slowly take that gray piece and slide that back carefully, and then you can get in here and you can just pry that right off. So they get really crispy over time and brittle, so that's kind of the safest way to do it. The way I just showed you there, it's all intact, nothing is damaged, and you can move that up out of the way. So I already pulled that little lower pipe. That would actually, you'd probably want to do that after I just did that. That can be your first step. It doesn't matter either way, it's not hard to get to. And now what I like to do is take the oil filter housing and move that out of the way. So oil filter housing, just the cap, get the cap out of the way, and then when this whole thing is loose, you can pull it straight this way because it's kind of tucked underneath the intake manifold. So pull the oil filter off. I have a little wrench for it, but that's probably what you're going to want to use. You can use a band strap or something like that if that's all you have, but I'm going to pull that off right now. Alright, now with that out of the way, you can see you have quite a bit of room to work here. You may want to throw a rag or something over there, make sure you're not dropping a bunch of stuff into your oil filter housing. But you can see the screws to get to it are pretty easy to see now. I'm just going to loosen these up. Sorry about that noise, probably is not very pleasant. So those are the three screws. They come right out of there. And now this whole filter housing is loose. What's nice too is those three screws are all the same. They're all the same size, you're not going to mess that up. And then you can just take this whole thing and kind of pull it off the front of the engine. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it a little bit. And with both hands I was able to kind of wiggle it into a position where it could slide out like that, and then there it is. One thing I didn't show that I was just doing when I dropped the camera was I unplugged the throttle right here off the back. It gave me a little bit more room to work it. So yeah, it wasn't difficult at all. I just took a little 90-degree pick and I released it and I pushed it off the back. I don't know if that's 100% necessary or not, but it did make it a little bit nicer. And then you can see you just want to clean these mating surfaces. So down here, this surface here, as well as right here where the thermostat housing plugs in with a new O-ring. So I'm going to get some Scotch-Brite and clean that off and then hose it down with a little bit of brake clean and make it all nice. I'm going to plug this off so I don't knock anything into it. And yeah, I'll come back when this is ready to be reinstalled. Alright, so I cleaned the mating surfaces, put a little bit of grease on the O-rings here, and you can just take it and slide it right into place. Like this. There it is. Kind of push it onto the block. Make sure that's kind of lined up down there. Then you can start your screws, and yeah, it's not very bad at all. I pulled this hose out of the way. You don't really have to, but it made it a little bit easier, especially since I'm trying to show how to do it. This hose here just goes to this little control valve up to the intake. You take your screws, make sure they're all lined up, start those in their home. Sorry, this is a little bit weird with trying to do this with one hand, but not too bad. So you put the screws back into place. After this is positioned, I'm gonna take the throttle connector and just put that back on. It's not very difficult. I can do it from underneath like this with my hand, and just put everything back into place. So pretty easy job. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease where the upper radiator hose goes back in. You don't want to use silicone or anything like that. I see that pretty often. That just causes more damage than anything. And yeah, so put it back together the same way you took it apart. 3 bolts down here, belt back in place. Yeah, pretty easy job. So thanks for watching.